Hello. Greetings.
Greetings. Greetings.
Stop.
I'm thinking of what whales say.
Oh.
We can talk to whales now.
We can.
Did you know? His
See-
name is Twain.
I think you were telling me about that.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. That's my highlight. I don't have a low light. I'm just happy we can talk to whales now. Or at least we are broadcasting now that we can talk to whales.
And we think we know what they're saying.
We think we know.
Yeah.
At least the greeting. I don't know. I want to do a role play of what else we think they're saying, but that could just turn into a disaster.
Yeah.
I like your fish.
The fuck you want?
Wow. That got hostile.
I'm swimming here.
The ocean is blue.
So blue.
It's cold too. Yeah, we only know how to say hi to them. I want to know like what made the scientists pick whichever calls they used.
Well, were you saying something about they like tried to decipher like sound bits that they've heard of like whales talking to each other?
Yeah, well, yeah. So they have figured out like a bunch of other stuff. Maybe not. I know with dolphins and belugas, they have names. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, I mean, I learned about that in school. So that's
They have
nothing.
names for like all the different calls and stuff?
No,
or...
they have like names.
Oh, okay.
Like your name is a call.
Uh-huh. That's the same with like orcas.
Yeah.
We think with
Yeah.
like orcas that they have distinct names.
So I don't know if humpbacks do. I don't know. Humpbacks are confusing. They have teeth, right?
Humpbacks, yeah.
Yeah. I get them confused always with like the baleen whales.
Mm-hmm.
Because they
Vacuum
look
cleaners.
so
It's basically what they are.
They look like them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look like dolphins or belugas or killer whales or like any of those. The pilot whales, I think those are toothed whales. I don't know, it's just very confusing. But yes, that's my highlight. I don't have a low light. I'm just glad that I'm just nervous that they're gonna start yelling back at us. And
We're not gonna understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
No,
Start attacking like no warning, which they already have.
yeah,
But-
humpbacks really haven't though.
Well,
I think some of it's like I think just their perception is just not great sometimes.
like when
so
they
that-
land on a boat
Yeah.
jumping. Like I want to
Yeah.
know if there is a motive there.
Probably not.
But like
I don't. I mean, are they as smart as like orcas?
Yes.
Oh, they are.
And
okay.
like they're the ones that will like go save a seal from an orca, like try and distract the orcas.
They have a very
A big heart.
antagonistic relationship with the orcas.
Yes.
It seems like they're like natural enemies.
But so my thing with the whole like landing on a boat, like they can easily maneuver around a tiny diver. Like they will avoid them perfectly. And like it's obvious that they're trying to not hit them. So I don't know, you can like see the boat from underwater.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna buy it. I think some are bullies, but it's okay.
Maybe.
That's okay. It's not like we don't deserve it.
Yeah.
So,
We are disgusting species.
Hi, how are you?
Not all of us.
It's kind of considered green tech, right? We were able to distinguish and talk to.
Yeah. No,
Twain.
that's huge. I mean, they already kind of can. We've already been able to pick apart like whale calls and stuff before, but
It's just gonna
to
get
be able to
more
like
annoying,
have an actual like conversation, so to speak.
so to speak. We don't know what we're saying, but like, why would we? My thing is, why would we even do that? What's the point of that?
If you don't understand what you're
Yeah.
even saying, yeah.
That's just like
It'd be
anybody
just to
can
say
do
they
that.
did it, but like, okay, how do you know you're not dissing the whale? Talking some smack.
I really wonder. I mean, it's silly to like anthropomorphize. Like, we can't do that. But I mean, a lot of their behaviors exhibit altruism and like loss and grief, like elephants, the same kind of stuff. So, is it so bad to think that they joke? And I don't.
No, I mean, no, no. I mean, I don't think it is. I mean, you look at, like, you know, the running joke of, is it the Bigs or the Southern Residents out here? Like, they'll do some weird, goofy stuff, I think, just to get a laugh. Like, there was that whole thing of, like, them putting dead salmon on their heads.
Oh yeah.
And then, like, and just, like, swimming around. And just, like, being goofy.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I think they're very aware of what they're doing. Which is really freaky to think about, but I mean, you know, they're very, very, very intelligent creatures. So,
And like I've heard of times where
Did you know that only 9% of plastics have ever been recycled? That blows my mind. What have we been doing these last however many years since recycling came about? Only 9% of it. The rest of it ends up in landfills, oceans. Awful, awful. Well, enter CBAR. So they are dedicated to cleaning up the ocean's trash. They pick up a pound of trash for every order that is made. That's insane. These people are so dedicated to this mission, and that is why we decided to apply for them as a sponsor, and we got it. We're so happy that they're going to be supporting the show. With our code, you get 15% off your first order. They are a company that makes shampoo and conditioner bars, and it's so cute. They come in this, they look like deodorant, and you know, it's like a Destin's sister called it a push pop. So it's literally like a little deodorant, and you can get refills too. So when you run out, you just take that thing out and then you put a new one back in. They have really, really good smelling scents for their bars. When I use the shampoo, it feels like I'm just like getting a essential oil bath on my head. It's so great. And you just smell so refreshingly. And my hair really feels like so soft and just healthy since I've been using it. So with our code Third Eye Sailing, you get 15% off your first order. I hope you guys give it a try. We love this company and we love what they stand for. So on us, guys. Thanks, and thanks for listening. Thank you, CBAR.
where they, I don't know, I think I saw this in like Center for Whale Research videos or something, where like when there's scientists out there on their boats trying to get shots and research, they almost like throw them a bone.
mm-hmm.
Like they'll come over. They don't usually come over to anybody.
Yeah.
But-
No, they'll just like come over and like sit on their side and just look at them
Yeah.
like, what's up? What you need?
Tell me what you need. We got
Yeah.
you.
like there was that whole one in that one documentary we saw of that guy that was diving with orcas, and then like the grandma or whatever like brought him a stingray, like, here you go, you hungry?
Yeah.
And you know, and then like there was a video I saw, I think it was a beluga. Someone dropped their GoPro like in the water. And the beluga like dove down and like got the GoPro and then like brought it back up to the person.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what other explanation
they're like,
is
excuse me, you
there.
dropped this. Here you go.
Have a nice day. A.
A.
Wow. What else? What else you got? Anything good from this past week? Couple weeks? Tech. Green things.
Green tech stuff things. I mean, I haven't really been keeping up with any of the green tech stuff things.
Besides the fusion
Besides the
stuff.
fusion stuff, but
There isn't really
we talked
anything new
about
with
that last time, so there's nothing real new about it.
Too bad.
It'll probably be years and years
Chips
and
in our
years.
brain. That's not very green.
Oh, the whole Elon Musk chip
Yeah,
thing.
we're
I
not gonna
didn't
do
really look into
that.
that because no.
Highlights for you.
No, just kind of
Cruising.
cruising.
Cruise. All right. Well, I kind of have a sort of intense topic.
Intense topic. What are we talking about?
Well, I'm gonna start it out with, because we've sort of touched on this before, but I want to delve. I want to go deeper. So, mostly because my mom and I were sort of talking about this. What triggers higher purpose thoughts / nature versus nurture? So, like, what?
Like what for me triggers it?
Yeah, I want to hear like your
okay.
from child. Like, do you think it comes from like growing up more or out in the world more? Let me ask you this: When have you always loved animals?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we grew up with animals, so I guess kind of always loved them, you know. Like we've usually always had some sort of animal in the house, you know, whether it was dogs or parrots or whatever, you know, we always had something. There were very rare cases of times that we didn't. There was a little while where we didn't after our ferret died, but
Were you out as a kid, like? There's that whole funny thing of like John Mulaney talks about, like, did your parents have to force you to go outside and play? Or I mean, you've always been a gamer, so like, were you more reluctant to go outside?
no, I mean, like when I was younger, I was outside like all the time.
So like, how old? Were you in Texas at this point?
Yeah, we were outside a lot there. Even when we moved like back to New York, we were usually outside a lot. It was some of it was we didn't have a choice, but some of it was just like it's not like we're gonna sit inside and stare at the walls, you know. So
Was this before video games then?
yeah, I think once I got a bit older and you know met my friends and stuff, and we all kind of started gaming, it was different. But I mean, it was more of you know, I mean, even now, like we have cycles where you know, kind of fall, winter. You know, when it's cold outside, it's like I'm not gonna go outside and play. I'll sit here and play video games, you know. But in the summer, it was less. It was more, you know, going over there and hanging out. And we usually weren't inside all that much in the summer because it was nice. We were outside and we were either just doing whatever, you know. So
Well, I mean, I was out when it was warm, of course. I don't even know what I did in the winter as a kid, honestly.
I mean, we used to still go outside in the winter sometimes if it was nice.
Yeah, I did
You know,
too, but like when?
build snow forts and
Like you had
all
your
that
video
kind of
games.
stuff.
What the heck was I doing?
staring at the wall.
Watching movies. I don't know. I was like Elena, she had her Barbies, and I don't know what I was doing. I was dancing around to sing-alongs, I think. Yeah, prancing and dancing and putting on shows for me. Born for the stage. But I was out. I was the bug catcher, and I was just like in the dirt, like just like playing with mud. Oh my god, camp like shaped me. It really did, and I have no shame about it. I'm just so glad. I'm so thankful for camp and what it gave Elena and I. And you know, I was thinking about this too. Mom, she never made us feel like guilty for getting dirty, which I think is such a green thing. Like, I could just see like my other parents being like kind of like, oh, you're gonna get everything dirty, and like actually mean it, but like she never made us feel like, don't get so dirty. She was never like that. She
Yeah.
was just like, okay, go jump in the pool.
Yeah,
When we
like
got home.
my parents never really cared. You know, it was like, oh, well, you know, just make sure you hose yourself off before
Hose
you
yourself
come in, or hose off your shoes, or you know, just don't try to track it in the house as much as
Yeah.
you know. But
It's not even like it's more than letting kids be kids. It's just like letting them just find their way around the world. And if they don't like that, like maybe a lot of little pink children aren't in the dirt all the time. Like Elena wasn't pink when she was little, but she would rather have been playing with her Barbies than in the dirt and catching bugs. That would have been the day that we So it's like that. I guess that's the nature versus nurture. Like some people have it in them from like the very beginning, and some just don't. And then sometimes it comes along later in like different ways of just like having that empathy for nature and wildlife and animals, and I don't know, it's just there's so much though I think of how we're brought up. Like if our parents deterred us from going outside and like you know it would have been so much harder to do that because you're a kid and you don't want to like go against your parents, but like I want to go outside and I want to get dirty. Like it takes a special kind of kid to even like say that, right? So I don't know, just a interesting kind of way of looking at it. Like just let your kids do what they want to do. I know that's such a broad statement, but like don't make them feel guilty about anything
yeah,
that they're doing that's like innocent, and just like it may not be something that you would do, but if it's not hurting anybody, who cares?
So, if you haven't noticed on our show, we talk a lot about mental health and our states of mind, good, bad, ugly, weird, whatever. And both of us have attributed a lot of our self-growth, I think, to using CBD. So, I mean, there was a big chunk of my young adult life not too long ago where I really, really just felt so out of my brain, just racing thoughts constantly, and I turned to CBD and it really stabled things out. Unbelievable. I'm no doctor, but it freaking worked. and I'll stand by it. I tell all my friends, like, try CBD, just give it a shot. You don't have to be scared. You're not going to get high from taking a gummy with no THC in it. So, I mean, CBD for life. I highly suggest giving them a try if you're having any concerns about your mental health in the way of racing thoughts, anxiety, just strictly those two. Like I said, not a medical professional, but, this stuff does work. And it made me feel really better, and it cleared things up and helped me figure out what I needed to do to even more improve my mental health. At least it got me to that state of mind. CBD for life. They have gummies, creams, roll-ons, and tinctures, like kind of everything typically you need to do CBD. Their prices are pretty decent. Everything pretty much ranges, all the popular stuff at least, from $20 to $40. Free shipping over $90 within the US. I mean, from what I can tell, they're looking pretty great compared to a lot of other brands. Sorry, guys. They have really good prices, and I mean, I won't say that I'm against Big Pharma. I'm going to say it a little bit. Just try other things first before you go to the hard stuff, like CBD. I know, preaching to the choir. So, enjoy. Give it a try. Merry, happy holiday, hoobie buddy. Bye-bye.
Exactly.
Thoughts?
No, I think it's, you gotta let kids be kids, but, you gotta also parent.
Say
There's times for parenting, and there's times for,
Well, yeah, for sure.
but.
Like, what did you do as a kid that maybe needed more parenting or less parenting? Kid, not teenager.
I don't know. I don't really remember. It was just different back then compared to now. Like, you see all these younger kids growing up, and it's like, I don't know, we're so technology focused sometimes that it's like hard to pull them away from the screen. Like my little cousin, she'd rather sit in front of a TV and watch YouTube sometimes than go like outside and do stuff. And it's kind of like,
where we never had that option.
Yeah, we never had that option to begin with,
And we'll never know, like, from each individual kid to another, we'll never really know if they would have been outside. Because it's like, there's no way, of course, of knowing.
And I mean, like, granted, like, my cousins are spoiled because I mean, they're, they live on land, and they live, down south where it's warm. So, like, when they are outside, like, they're outside, they're
tending the horses.
They're running around and, doing all that kind of stuff. They're very active outdoors, but, I mean, there's kids that, like, live and grow up in cities and stuff, and they won't have that same experience.
Which has always been a thing. I just love to see those types of situations, and it somehow, their higher environmental purpose, like, finds them. I love that. Like, you grew up in, like, downtown wherever, and you saw a little 5-foot plot of grass. Like, that's all you got to see, and you're, like, saving the world now. We gotta find more of those, because that would be really cool to, like, look at their colors.
Yeah.
Because then, like, you're going, that's what I mean, like, you're going against
the,
whatever that is. Like, all the odds are against you for that idealism, and you still got there. And it's just so cool. And we were lucky enough to like Webster. It had quite the mix, and there was so much green space. And
Oh yeah, so much.
oh my gosh, it was. I remember talking about it with my dad, like how lucky we were to grow up there with all of like the lakes and everything. I wouldn't have traded it for anything, honestly.
Yeah. No, it was like perfect. It really was with everything that was there.
And like it would have, I think it would have been a totally different vibe too if it was ocean.
Oh yeah.
Like very
Yeah.
different. I don't know
Oh,
why
yeah.
it's different, but I mean, water is water. You know, the ions are there. When you look at it, you feel better. But I don't know. There was something about like the safety of a lake. Like
Yeah.
I never felt scared to go
Yeah.
in.
The lake and the bay.
The
There's
bay,
like
yeah.
safety in it. Yeah.
It was just so normal to just go and swim, and it was kind of gross. Like it wasn't the cleanest water, that's for sure.
But we didn't care.
No. Not like the ocean is any better.
Yeah.
I don't know. People have a lot to say about the lakes and bays where we're from, but you know what? It's not as bad as it could have been.
No, it could have been a lot worse.
You could see kind of through it ish.
Yeah, on certain days.
What else do I have here? Oh yeah. And so that kind of goes into like becoming a cause. So like you can have something that you fight for and be like super passionate about it, but it could be really hard to like go against the grain of like trying to fight for that cause, right? So I find it interesting how it's like we're almost trying to immerse ourselves and literally like become it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Kind of.
It's kind of like living what you're being, what you want to see. Oh god, ew, did I just say that? Like be the change you want to see in the world. But like okay, so there are people who I don't know, like let's say politicians who fight for animal rights and everything green, but anything they do in their daily life does not reflect that.
So most politicians.
I mean, we don't know for sure, but just like it comes down to the little stuff, like being conscious of it all the time, of what you're preaching and what you're fighting for. It's freaking hard, but I guess that's the whole thing of becoming it versus just fighting for it. Anything?
I guess I'm still confused on what the question is.
I guess just elaborate. Where have you seen that? And like it isn't reflected like in their real life. Go ahead. I know an example. Religion and people who preach everyone treated equally.
Yeah. If we really want to go down that road.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
You know what we really could have used? Camping. All of our years of camping.
Yeah. I do know what we could have used.
Do you? Please
Yeah.
tell me about it.
We could have used a Jackery portable power station.
What's that?
Well,
What does it do?
It's basically a portable battery that you can plug all your devices into. It's got AC outlets, DC outlets, USB plugs.
How big is it?
There's different sizes. So there's some that range from, I think it's like 1,000 watts to like 3,000 watts, something like that.
That's a lot of power.
It is. It is a lot of
What
power.
can I plug into it?
You can plug in pretty much anything you could plug in at home into it.
So it has like wall outlet thingers.
And DC outlet thingers for like all your 12-volt stuff.
USB outlet thingers.
Yep, for your phones and tablets and laptops.
So you can bring this anywhere because it's portable.
Yep.
You can have it on a boat. You can have it camping. You can have it in a van for van life.
Yep.
Wow. I kind of want to try it.
Okay.
Okay.
If you would like to check out more, if you go to our website, thirdeyesailing.com, under our affiliate links page, there should be a link to Jackery right there.
Not all, but
Yeah, not all people with religious affiliations are that way, but you do see those outliers, that the extremists, so to speak, right, that are like, oh, it's for everyone and we welcome everyone, and yet they're like, they can be so not welcoming and not anyone different from what they perceive as like
what they perceive as the norm.
Yeah, as
or
what they
should
perceive
be
as the norm is like just frowned upon.
Yeah.
Sometimes in very mean ways.
Yeah. Yep. Not practicing what you preach. I guess that's the whole gist of it.
Yeah. And it's just crazy how I'm gonna say it, how much of a cult religion really is. In all its forms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, regardless of if we're even talking about ancient religion, like it's all the same thing.
We believe this, and we think everyone should believe this. And that's it.
That's all there's to it. So it's one of those that just.
But that's not becoming a cause. Like, that's not.
Yeah. No.
It's so fresh, and people like that, religious affiliations, whatever, who aren't living it. It's like, stop thinking you're better
Yeah.
than everybody else. That's what I can't stand. It's the superiority of it all.
And they never will, because they think that they're superior to everyone and that their way is the only way, and it's just disgusting.
Disgusting. I mean, that's kind of like the gist of what I have planned today. Besides Demi Lovato singing Heart Attack at a cardiac convention, I mean, that was another, if I have two highlights, that's my other highlight. And let's go Chiefs. We're listening into the Taylor party today.
Yep.
If you're rooting for whoever else, good luck to you. I don't like the 49ers. Never have, never will. So, and I don't really care about the Chiefs. But
Yeah.
TNT,
And
Travis and Taylor.
if you want to get really deep into things, I mean, not even kind of deep, but kind of freaky, if you think about it, 4 years ago, in 2020, it was an election year. It was Biden versus Trump.
Oh.
And it was Chiefs versus the 49ers at the Super Bowl.
Really?
This is their second time meeting at the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Like, there's a lot of parallels between that year and this year.
What?
Yeah.
an election year.
Yeah.
Ah.
And I think it's a leap year too.
Yes, it is.
Because I think it was a leap year 2020.
What?
Yeah. I think
Okay, we're all in a simulation. It's no way. Who won?
I don't remember.
I feel like it was probably the Chiefs, but
That was like right when COVID hit.
yeah,
And it
good
was
times.
just. And it's crazy to think about, like, our perception of time is like before COVID and after COVID. Because, like, there's stuff that's happened in the last couple of years that you're like, wait, what? That was only 3 years ago? And it feels like forever. Like certain video games, for example. There's certain games that have come out in the last couple of years. My brain thought, oh, they've been out for 5-6 years. No, it's literally like 3 years ago.
Wrong.
Some of this stuff came out, and it's like, what?
Where are we?
What's going on?
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah. Conspiracy theorists go nuts with that information.
I want to find more. I gotta get on like a real channel for like all these conspiracy theories, but I'm afraid I'll go a little cuckoo.
It's so hard to tell these days what is like an actual conspiracy theory and what's just social babble. Like, you know, because there's so much shit that you hear on social media that's like not actually true, but it's like, hey, this guy started a rumor about this, and then, you know, you have 10 people reporting on that rumor that isn't actually true. Which I guess that's kind of what a conspiracy theory is, but like, I don't know, some of these conspiracy prepper people are freaking.
I don't know. I think of a conspiracy theory like something totally outlandish and outrageous.
Like we didn't land on the moon?
Yeah.
That whole conspiracy theory? Or the whole conspiracy theory of like the two towers, like, was like a setup.
Yeah, like something just so like out of a movie, like where there's every piece of evidence stacked against it.
That basically says, hey, this like did actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the framework of all of the really crazy ones.
Oh, some of them get like, they have like timelines and
Yes,
maps
it's
and.
like, how much time do you have that you're able, and like, where do you get the details?
Oh, they know a guy. They know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy, right? Oh, they got this super secret, top secret information about, you know, the JFK assassination, and it was really applied by the government, and blah, blah, blah. And
You know, it makes me think of that movie that's coming out. Have you seen the preview for it? The girl that writes a book about spies, and then they're like coming after her because they were real.
oh, no.
No.
But I feel like they've done that before.
Oh, okay.
Kind of a thing of like someone writes a book about something, but it's like actually real, and like they, like the.
But that's
Whatever.
so cool.
It is, yeah.
I think it's supposed to be funny, but I don't
It
know.
sounds like it would be like a comedy
Yeah.
kind of a thing. It'd be hard to pull that off like as a serious movie.
Yeah. But then I think about all these people who write books, like me, and just like, oh, it could be real somewhere out there.
Some timeline.
One of our 10 dimensions.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note.
All right. So as we continue rambling, we should probably wrap this up. Have fun.
Let's go, Chiefs.
Stay safe. Let's go, Chiefs.
TNT,
All that fun
Taylor and
stuff.
Travis. Woo.
All right. Bye.
Bye.